Mary Karuba. On my 24th birthday, I woke up and said out loud, I'm gonna have sex today. I am gonna have sex today. Now, that was a very strange pronouncement for me to make because I had absolutely no prospects on the horizon whatsoever. And I've been plagued with crippling insecurity for almost all of my life. But about a year earlier, when I was 23, I left my hometown of San Francisco, relocated to New Mexico, the state that had almost a mystical effect on me, and everything started changing. And one thing that changed was that I lost weight, a lot of weight, and my whole world changed. Because I was always this heavy kid, got made fun of in school, never asked on a date, never asked to the prom, always insecure about myself. And now, I lost this weight. Turned out I had this voluptuous figure, hair down to my waist, and the world changed overnight. Everything changed. Men acted really nervous around me. Women sales clerks said snarky things about fat people right in front of me. It was insane. And so I woke up on this morning with this sort of unfounded and unbridled sense of confidence, this sense of new sexual power and promise. And I set out with great purpose that day, saying I'm a new woman, I'm gonna do new things, and I'm gonna do them all today. And later that day, I was driving to Santa Fe. I'm at a stoplight, I feel something. I look over to my left and I see this gorgeous guy in the car next to mine, and he's smiling at me. And I smiled back. And then he gave me one of these. And I'd never gotten one of those. I didn't know what to do back, but this was a day for doing new things, so I gave him one of these. I don't know why I went with weird sailor salute, but that's what I did. We end up pulled over to the side of the road, talking, hitting it off, that hormonally driven, exciting, gorgeous thing that happens when you're young and juicy and all full of sex, you know? And it's just amazing. And he asked me if I wanted to have dinner, and I said, Mike, his name is Mike, I would like to have dinner. And I drove behind him to Santa Fe, and the whole time I'm driving behind him, I'm so excited. I'm like, I cannot believe what life is like for attractive people. They just magnetize each other out of their vehicles. I didn't know. And we had this great meal. Mike had this huge New Mexican burrito, Christmas style. Christmas style in New Mexico is having your burrito smothered with loads of real spicy red and green chili. After dinner, Mike said, I guess unsurprisingly, his stomach was really upset. He needed to cut the night short, but he really liked me and wanted to see me the next day. Well, this threw me into existential confusion because as far as I was concerned, this plan was unfolding amazingly, and I knew this thing was going down tonight. So I said, I thought I was going to be really seductive and irresistible. I'm frantically trying to think of what seductive people would say. And so I thought I was going to say something really incredible, but what I actually said was, Mike, I wouldn't mind going back to your place for a piece of pie. Why pie? Why pie? What young bachelor has a rhubarb pie back in his place? You know, but I was so out of my depth. So Mike sort of reluctantly brings me back to his tiny apartment in Santa Fe. Couldn't have been more than 150 square feet. And we're sitting in the only place in his little apartment where we could sit together, the bed. And Mike leans in to give me what I now understand was meant to be a goodnight kiss, but which which me, in my fevered state of excitement, I took to mean it is on. It's on. It's all happening. It's happening. So I go to fling myself back on the bed so he can get up all on this, you know? And as I fling myself, he was hooking an arm around my back. And so I accidentally and very awkwardly flung him on top of me and back onto the bed, and the bed broke immediately. And the box springs, the mattress, and Mike and I go crashing to the floor with this huge thud. And Mike cries out, "Oh!" and clutches his stomach and runs to the bathroom. Whereupon a series of loud explosions began. And I could hear poor Mike in there after every little series of explosion going, "I'm sorry. Excuse me. I apologize." And I was horrified as I lay on that broken bed, frozen 2 feet away from the bathroom. And I could just feel all the sexual power and promise just ebbing out of my body with every toilet flush. And there were so many flushes. So many flushes. So many. And Mike comes out 20 minutes later looking pale, exhausted, embarrassed, and he just quietly gathered up his car keys. I followed him out of his tiny little house. We had a silent ride back to the restaurant, and when we got to my car, he just put out his hand. We didn't make eye contact or exchange a word. We just had this sad little formal handshake. And I never saw Mike again, but I have to tell you, I am so grateful to him for the lessons of that day, because even though it would take me decades to really develop real confidence, you know, the kind that comes from the kind of person you are, it took a long time to develop that, but I learned from that day never to just act on my first impulse. I learned that if I wake up in a state of fevered excitement, it's probably good to stay in bed for a few minutes and think it through. And I also learned to never, ever turn to another driver and give him one of these. Thank you.